This is Finlay Sturgis with the second round. I'd like to be joined with Sonny Robinson. Sonny, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good.
So we'll start on with the event. What brings you here? Do you like insights?
When I work with young Leo Tang, Greg Beasley, and I work for Matrimony, so I'll be commentating as well. So yeah, back to work some of them.
So we talk about back to work, obviously, the time, and how is that treating you? Are you enjoying this side of boxing?
Yeah, I mean, spending time around boxing is all I've ever done really since 9 years old. I followed the footsteps of my brother. A very great amateur career all the way to great pro career that's still going now. Shout out to him. We're waiting today, fighting tomorrow. Got a tough match here in front of him for a WBC and national title, but yeah, getting back on the right weight division on the right half, and then he's gonna keep pushing on and back onto world level. I think.
Can you give us a bit more insights? How is the training?
I can't lie. Where me and his camp are kind of on more at the moment. Next week we've got Ismail Davies versus Team Nadjiarko, so just left him to it a little bit. I would put my brother in his own good position, I swear to God. But it's boxing, you know, and anyone that turns up to a fight with me, supporting them, I'll give them 100%, but I don't care what I say. It's never personal, it's just business.
You mentioned Davies last week, so you get off of it.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight for him. Look, I do rate Adjiarko as a fight. I think it's a good level fight. And yeah, it's 3 very, very, very risky, hard fights to ish in a row. But when he signed with me a couple of years ago, that's all he wanted. Big fights. Like, we weren't trying to make something, we weren't trying to, make sure he took every step. He wanted to get let off the loose, and he's done good so far. Okay, he's got 2 defeats. Just plenty of very, very close fight. 6 days notice and weight above. If he went a little bit early, he definitely would have won the fight. Josh was surviving at the end. He's holding on for dear life at the end. Everything but fighting at the end. Okay, Sergey Vodkacek and him in the second round. After Ish, for me, won the first. And then for the next 5 rounds, he was landing clean shots on Ish, and he showed his toughness. He was still there. Ish got safe from himself that night. He would have carried on coming out. Even again, he's one of the best and hardest punching fighters in world boxing currently. And he was way earlier than his time, but Ish is that if he gets a fight offer, which he kept getting, he takes it. He don't even ask for more money. He wants to fight, and he's great. He's always obviously an English now. He's got another grade 1 fighter, a good fighter at Adjiarko. The difference is, for me, is Ish is a savage. Ish has depth to his character that isn't built spending your whole life as an amateur boxer and the home side of a professional boxing career. It's not built. Where he comes from is a very, very, very different place. And I think that's going to be the key. That's going to be the new point of the fight for us. Make Adjiarko get to equal, because we know his head and his heart ain't in the same sort of place as this.
You mentioned obviously you've got some fighters on this card side C. The fighters right now are how full?
What, on this card?
Oh, just right now.
Well, we could just start with this bump. There's so many coming through. We've got young Adam Matek, 18 as well. Phenomenal on their debut. Really excited. Best friends with Leo Atanya. Like, there's a whole little group coming for an all fantastic fighters with some very high ceilings, I think. Obviously, there's a lot of fighters that I work with. I don't want to start listing them all because I've got quite a few. But yeah, it's been like the end of season through the last July, August, and not really much boxing's been happening too much over this side of the water anyway. But September the 1st started, and now we're back. I can't wait, to be honest. I think we've got a lot of fighters, really a lot of fighters starting to come through, and a lot of journeys that fighters are going to be excited. I think year and year, I think boxing's just gravitating more eyes and getting bigger and more participants and, more exposure of everything. So, yeah, I think it's a great time to be a professional boxer right now, or an amateur boxing coming up for you.
Well, you mentioned one. Let's go over there and touch on Canelo Crawford. What are your predictions? Obviously, he's been sparring with Bruce and Ennis. Is that a good hit in that camp?
He's been sparring with Bruce and Ennis, so Canelo. I'm kind of team Crawford. I think he definitely is the underdog in this fight. It's crazy to say that Crawford's going in as kind of a clear underdog, but there's the weight advantages, where they started from, where they're at now, and how recently Crawford jumped up as well. We looked good against Madrimov, but that was a hard fight for him. We haven't really seen him have a hard fight until this point, and a big part of that probably isn't the level of fighting that Madrimov is. He is a very good fighter, a royal level fighter, and just maybe below like the top fringe, but he's been so dominant at every other level, at every other weight. His weight's getting a bit too big, but you know, when you roll the dice, you're gonna roll it against the Canelo. Right? I think that Terence Crawford walks around this maybe a little bit bitter at how he's been received by the world of boxing. But even though he's been absolutely ruthless and dominant in pretty much every single fight, every single stage, or 3-4 weight world champion, he's done it so easy. He's never really got the just dessert that he deserves. He's never maybe became as marketable or got the rewards completely for the level of performance that he puts in deserves. And it's probably unfortunate that he has to go all the way up to 168 to fight Canelo. It's a fight that really get received how his talent should have been, and that's the chip on his shoulder which will become really dangerous. And you know, he's definitely capable of doing anything to his two men in the ring. We've seen more flaws and more holes at certain stages of Canelo's career than we ever have with Crawford. I think, your styles make fights, and where he's not really going to be punished up like was before, and really out, hiding things. I don't know, I thought Canelo, he can good man you and mine. But with Crawford, background in wrestling, he is one of, for me, the most physically capable fighters in the world, really. Not only is he a masterclass boxer, he has that expertise in other disciplines as well. When you're in a boxing ring, they just mesh together, and so that might help him, close the size gap. I'm very excited for it.
Do you think that's why he's not received his flowers due to the weight class?
Weight class, also marketability. I think maybe where he's from, I don't even want to start thinking of like whole side of he's never been the most loud, outspoken. Like every time there's a fight week, there's a press conference, weigh-in, the fight night, and some fighters try and win each day. If that makes sense, they try and make the tweaking point, a clip that went viral, the thing that everyone's speaking about. They try and win each day, whether it's Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday, a fight. Crawford's always let his fighting people talking, and don't get me wrong, he's gone all the way and he's made millions and he's done it. But someone as good as he probably should have earned 10 to 20 times the amount of money that he's earned for boxing.
I think it would be rude not to talk about.
There you go. Yeah, we'll start it. So rude, man, it's off.
Rude not to talk about Yafai whilst he's here. He's no longer ordered to fight in the weekends. How do you like?
Yeah, I think that's right. Fantastic fighter, I could tell when I didn't tell on the commentary that his opponent was juicing. He found his drugs after his last no one knew that for some reason, but him versus Sandoval, I can't lie. Sandoval refused to fight me as my mandatory. He beat Jay Harris and he was making my mandatory, but I was IBF champion. Golden Boy went that, and now we're not going nowhere near something. Now he's unified champion of the world. Call me shot in front. I think that I'll beat him.
Well, we heard it for something.